everybody, we are back, and I apologize for us being late. I was waiting on Duke, and I don't know if he's coming or not. I haven't heard anything out of him. So, you can hear me, Snapper? Everybody hear us loud and clear?
I can hear you. You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Awesome.
So, Christmas 2023. You know, it does not feel like a year since we did the guitar pull last year.
No, it doesn't. It's like every year gets faster and faster.
Yeah, let me move that out of the way. So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so the way we do this, guys, is this is the Christmas show and guitar pull. So we're going to go for 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, kind of like a regular show. And then Snapper's got to go do some stuff. I don't know if Duke's going to show up or not. But then we will bring in some other people on this side, and we'll have what we call the guitar pull, which is around here. That's basically just a fancy word for one guitar, and a couple of us around here on this side. We're going to do some singing, Christmas songs, whatever kind of songs you guys want. We'll put them out there in the comment section. If I know them, we'll sing them, and basically we just pass the guitar around like a family gathering at Christmas time and sing whatever song we feel like singing. There will be a lot of off keys. There will be a lot of key changes. There will be forgotten words, but it's just basically going to be like families get together at Christmas time around a piano or a guitar and sing. So anyway,
Indeed.
Snapper, you have an announcement to make.
Indeed. All of you guys, Merry Christmas. And you guys are getting what you guys have been wanting for, 2.5 years? Almost 3 years now.
3 years. Over 3 years now.
Oh, 3 years. This beautiful mask is going away in the very next video. This is the last video with the mask.
So hype it up.
This will be the last.
The New Year's show 2 weeks from tonight. The unmasking of Snapper.
The unmasking of Snapper. Now, I was told to make sure I warn that if you're pregnant, if you have any heart problems, prone to seizures, any of that kind of stuff, or if you're under a certain height, you can't watch because you might end up dying. Look at it as like a roller coaster ride. If you can go on a good roller coaster, you'll be all right.
Yep. And like I said, guys, we're waiting on Duke. He may not show up tonight. He might be had an emergency at work or something because I haven't been able to get a hold of him. But sometimes those things happen with his new job. But if he does show up, we'll let him right in. All right, Snapper, you ready to go through who's here?
Indeed.
Okay, Jolly Jake Lovell commented at 10:06 a.m. this morning. Cool, you guys are broadcasting in stereo. That was my fault. When I set the thing up this morning, I accidentally set it up twice. So there were six different announcements that Christmas show was coming.
Nice.
Gray Pilgrim said, waiting with worm on tongue. Bated breath.
Bated breath. Indeed.
Doug Duke says, I thought that was from Sardines. Houston says, Merry Christmas all. Who else is in here? Franz Pusht said, I probably mispronounced that, said, I sure like stuff with obscure old guns, Smith & Wesson, Old Army, etc. I have a couple of oldies myself. And just scrolling down, see who else is here. They're just kind of talking back and forth between him and Gray Pilgrim. And Gunsmith 4570 says, good evening all. Just having fun
evening.
Says, good evening, folks. Tim O'Neill says, hi from Florida. Doug Duke says, good evening and Merry Christmas. Been looking forward to this since last year. Well, I hope we don't disappoint you too bad. Louisiana Gray says, evening.
A lot of fun last year.
Yeah, it really was.
It was.
I'm trying a different microphone deal this year. Maybe it'll pick up a little better. Last year, it didn't pick up real good, everybody. And I didn't know till afterwards, but hopefully this year we do a little better. Louisiana Gray said, Merry Christmas to all the Woods family. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Louisiana. AR American. Hi, AR. Oh, we got a Christmas Day video coming. It involves AR American that Ethan don't even know is happening yet.
Ooh. Nice.
Louisiana Gray said, I hope you're having a Merry Christmas, Snapper.
I'm trying. It's been a very, very Merry Christmas so far, and it's getting better and better and better. So I'm happy. Let's just say I'm happy.
Jeremy P. said, hi, everybody. Hope all are well. Small Caliber Arms Review said, hello, Merry Christmas. Hi.
Merry Christmas.
Turkey Creek 1823 said, TC is here. Howdy, y'all. Hi, Merry Christmas.
Howdy.
Merry Christmas, TC. Turkey Creek 1823. Your name's not Merry Christmas. It's Turkey Creek. Oh, that's not your name, I guess, but that's what we call you. Somebody's coming in the door. Oh, it's Noah.
Uh-oh.
Louisiana Gray said, seemed to have a lot waiting patiently. Yeah, sorry, we were slow. Desert Boys in says, howdy and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Franz said, nice Montana winter here so far. Louisiana Gray said, and of course that applies, Merry Christmas applies to Task Force Tyler and Mom.
Nice. Hopefully Task Force is watching. I have no idea, actually. I don't know what he's doing at the moment.
Robert Allgood said, Merry Christmas from the sunny Southwest.
Nice.
Is it sunny in the Southwest, Snapper?
It's dark at the moment, but it's only been in Arizona. It's been raining. When I needed it to not be raining, it's been raining there. But here, it's been dry and kind of nice.
Jake, Everything Black Powder says, howdy, boys. Hi, Jake.
Howdy, Jake.
Jared, 1860, said, the Reload Show, Christmas cookies, and Maker's Mark bourbon. My day's looking up. Well, I guess it sounds like it is. Going through here. See who else is here. Tennessean says, howdy, folks. Hascat 640 said, Merry Christmas. Yeah, even you, Everything Black Powder. Cool Hand said, about time. Yeah, sorry about that. And Chris Klein says, Merry Christmas, all. RJ's Guns and Stuff said, Merry Christmas, fellas. Speedy 16 said, Merry Christmas, everyone. Looking forward to the songs. And there we go. 36 people in here. And we are
awesome.
Rolling. Snapper, what do you want Santa Claus to bring you for Christmas?
I've really been wanting
only one. And it can be anything. Anything, but only one.
A Patterson.
Original.
I want a Patterson. Yeah, I want a Patterson.
What particular?
I've been really wanting a Walker, but the more you study into Colt, I think the Patterson was a far more important piece into that step. I think the Walker's been overblown. It was just one gun that wasn't even around for that long, and it turned into the Dragoon. There's nothing for the Patterson. I mean, it was the Patterson, the really small ones, and then they got a little bit bigger. But if it wasn't for Patterson, the Walkers would have never been made. And if it wasn't for that Colt would have never. They have their importances, but I have this gut feeling that I might enjoy a Patterson more than a Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I just have that feeling.
Knowing you,
because I mean, I got about as close as you can get to a Walker with a replica. I mean, an original Dragoon, and it's just a tiny bit shorter. I mean, all honesty.
Besides, according to Mel Gibson, Santa Claus already carries a Walker, so you want something different.
Ooh, yeah. Or I just need to ambush Santa when he's coming down and take his Walker. That's what I need to do.
If you've ever seen The Fat Man, they try every year. But he's too tough.
Nobody's been able to do it since.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So Santa Claus and the elves are wrapping up your Patterson. Which model are you getting?
The Texas model. I want the Texas model.
Loading lever or not?
Probably not, just because to be historically accurate. I mean, they did put them on later on.
Yeah, on some of the Texas models.
Yeah. I want something that's the equivalency of what, John Coffey Hayes and those boys had.
So 8-inch, 5-shot, 36, no loading lever, standard stuff.
Yep. I would love to have, don't get me wrong, I think the loading lever is a much better looking gun. Uh-huh. It's a beautiful gun with that loading lever on it. It really helps the looks. But to me, the fight at Walker Creek is such an iconic thing. I'm so upset. I grew up in that area, and I never even knew it took place in that area. Mm-hmm. Or even like Round Rock, where, that's where John Coffey Hayes almost died with some surveyors. He ended up getting a big fight on his own on the Round Rock. And I wish I'd have known this stuff. I wish I was into history back then, because I was living in like the epicenter of what I loved, and it was right there, and I didn't even know it. And I could have gone on small road trips and seen all this stuff and actually touched it, felt it, lived it. Mm-hmm. And I go like an idiot teenager. I didn't care. So I want what's shiny and new, and who cares about old stuff?
Yeah. Kodak Tackman said, fellas, I'm late, but I made it. But Louisiana Gray says, make sure you ask for multiple cylinders for that Patterson.
That is a good point. That is a good point. I would be definitely upset with Santa if he didn't get me at least 2 cylinders.
I would be too.
Because when I do my reenactment of the Battle of Walker Creek and all these poor people who have no idea what's going on, they won't know. They won't know. They're going to be like, is he going to reload? I don't know. And they're going to look just like the Indians when I'm sitting back there just pow, 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 pow. I got to put on a full reenactment, the whole 9 yards.
And if you've ever tried to reload with that little reloading tool that goes in the in the wedge hole, whew, that thing's tough to use. And I found I don't know if it's just Pietas, but man, it was fragile. Broke on the first time I tried to load it. Could have just been Pietas, though.
If I remember right, I know that the 49 pocket works like this, but I don't know if
you pitch down with the arbor.
Yeah, you could use the arbor instead of using that little lever thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
I suppose you could do it that way.
I'm just curious. I'm sure they had the loading tools. I'm really curious. I need to look and read more into that because it's always something I kind of gloss over the early years. I wonder what they thought of the loading tool. I mean, they obviously wanted a loading lever. That's pretty obvious, though, on the fact of, hey, let's try to reload the cylinders on the gun kind of idea. But I'm curious. I'm curious what they actually thought of the whole loading lever.
I guess if anybody would know, it'd be Doug Dukes.
Yeah.
Doug, if you got anything on if they had any comments or letters written about that loading lever, that would be interesting. We're talking about not the loading lever on the gun. We're talking about the loading tool that came with the early ones that you take the barrel off, you slide it in.
I know the replica ones are junk, apparently. They're really weak. And I've seen you break one. I've seen many people break one in their videos. I'm just curious as to how the originals work. Even though I know it doesn't work very well, I also want that little spout, the little 5. You know, you push down and it loads all 5 with powder. That little weird 5-shot powder dispenser thing they had. That'd be cool to have too.
Yep. Todd B said, I picked up Uberti's Hickok Model 1851 Navy conversion in 38 Special.
Ooh.
You have a 51 Navy conversion in 38 Special. It's not a Uberti. It's part Uberti, I think, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. It's actually got I think it's this very similar cylinder that's on that gun. It's just because I couldn't find an original cylinder, and I just made that one work. I was going cheap because I got it for next to nothing, and it was all in pieces. But it's alive now, and it works. I like it.
Well, that's good.
I need to do a video on it. I've recorded like 3 videos with it, but never ever made a video on it.
Is it plus P rated?
I wouldn't want to because it's still using the original barrel. It's still using its original barrel. So
you wouldn't want to push that hard, huh?
No. I mean, it's technically an original 50. Think of it as like an original 51 Navy with a replica cylinder on it. That's the best way to look at it.
I doubt
it's got most of the original frame. Yeah, I think that I'm not sure if that cylinder is plus P rated. I need to look at that. That'd actually be kind of interesting.
Well, it depends on if they make a different steel for their other guns that they have in 357 or not. That's a question I've always wondered. Why do they? Is their steel that much? Because we always hear people tell us, in the replicas, you don't want to shoot hot jacketed ammo, or I do all the time, but not real hot, not like Ruger hot, grant you, but not standard pressure jacketed ammo. I hear people say that all the time, like in your conversions, they're like, you need to shoot just lead. Or if it's a cap and ball revolver that you put a conversion cylinder in, they're like, don't use jacketed ammo. I've always wondered, do you really think they use different steel for their?
I think on the ones that they are making that are designed to be like, say, like that Wild Bill Hickok version he has, where it's coming from the factory as a cartridge gun, I think they use different steel. Or it could be the same steel, but they end up testing it far further. And like looking at that too, I don't see why they would actually buy different steel. They might just have one go through an inspection that the other one doesn't have. That's a good question. I would love to figure that out because that would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
I know that when they're made for actual cartridges, they're certified to a higher pressure to be safe with anything you could pretty much put in it. Safely, obviously, but that's a good question. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, but I could also see they might.
Yeah. Doug had an answer here for us, kind of. He said, no comments that I know of. They were too impressed. We're talking about the loading lever tool. No proof, but personally, I bet they didn't use the tool at all. I bet you she used a short ramrod. That's a good point because they used a lot of people that didn't have cone barrels on their muzzleloaders at the time would use a short starter, usually just a piece of wood on a piece of hickory. And if they had one,
and that's all you would need.
Yeah, just hit it like you were loading. Never thought of that.
Let's think about it too. Like if I were using that tool and go, oh, this is kind of a pain. I mean, honestly, think of these guys. They're the kind of people who probably hammer everything. Yeah. And hey, you just hit it with this. If it works for that, we'll just hit it. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
Just use if they made a short
starter
rifle, which they don't necessarily. Everybody didn't have those, but it was definitely a known concept.
I could definitely see them using something like that. I could definitely easily see that quickly happening.
Diane Houston said, "Snapper, how long did it take to get your Colt letter? I applied in late August and haven't heard back from them yet."
Really? Oh man, I got mine. I normally get mine within usually 2 to 3 weeks from ordering it. Mine come in a month, usually max.
Yeah.
I would. Did you ever get they normally will send you an email as well that will tell you everything that's on the letter before you get the letter. Mm-hmm. I would check to see if you have that. If not, I would hit them up and just see is they just like having a really big year where they've just been everybody and their brother wanting letters. But every time I've ever ordered a letter, it was a month max.
It shouldn't be that big a year. No, something's up.
No.
Harley Ironhead said, good evening all. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You as well. Merry Christmas.
Tim O'Neill said, built a Buffalo Bill on a Uberti return. Bought one. 1,000 feet per second. Ballistics 1,000 feet per second. 38 long Colt jacketed bullets are bad for the rifling. You know, I've heard that.
I've heard that too.
I've shot a lot of jacketed bullets through there.
And you know what's kind of interesting too is I don't know if it's I just don't know the replicas as well. Yeah. But I know that I think it would be if somebody has a black powder version or your regular cap and ball version and have one of these that is a actual cartridge. Look at the rifling to see if it's the same cut, a very similar style. I know they're going to be different sizes because they went to the 3.51 versus 3.75 or whatever. But look at the way the rifling is designed and see if it's the exact same style of rifling because that would be kind of interesting to know. Or if it actually looks a lot more like something you would find on it. Just see if it's different. If it's different, it might be okay for it.
Yeah. Let's see. Doug Dukes said, remember the Rangers got the guns used, so loading tool may not be. Yeah, the Navy had it first. Texas Navy, so that's very
And true. I don't think the military was probably like when I was in where you're accountable for every tiny little piece all times, and they'll make you buy it.
I bet they were.
I bet they were too. I don't see the Navy really using them that much. I could have seen the Navy saying, we don't need these. I could see that. I'm curious how many actually really did something in the Navy though. Or did they just locked away in a bunker somewhere?
Yep. Fran said, take it easy on those open tops. Yeah. As far as smokeless goes, that open top right there.
Yep. There you go.
That's my 72 and 45 Colt. It's had it for it's been like 15 years and a couple thousand 40 grain black powder charges under a 255 grain bullet. Didn't loosen a bit. But that's not
old AR American's pushing some really hot stuff through his. He finally cracked it. But
he was pushing Buffalo Bore, though. Buffalo Bore smokeless out of his.
Yeah.
Worked for a long time till it didn't. Yeah, that's what the AR says. Don't use a Buffalo Bore and open top. Worked for him for a long time till it didn't. So you can, with black powder, you can push that bullet out of there 1,000 feet per second over and over and over and over again with no issue. That 255 grainer. Don't do it with smokeless. You can. I always tell people, and they don't believe me, you can get better performance in these guns out of black powder than you can smokeless.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Let's see. Tim O'Neill said, got some hard cast hollow base wad cutters up to 1,100 feet per second on the box. Shot them fine. Little snappy. I buy hollow base wad cutters to reload. Snappers all into them hollow base wad cutters.
I like hollow base. As a matter of fact, I've even gotten to the point since I have a lathe that I made a little holder for all my different size bullets. And if they're not hollow base, I don't mind lightening the bullet. And actually, I have a little bit that I use that kind of makes it, it's like a ball end mill, and it'll hollow out the base. And I just set a stop on everything so they're perfectly the same each time. They're not cast that way, but I'm cutting them to have hollow bases. And I notice dramatic performance difference out of my guns, being originals and whatnot. That flare, being able to flare up and grip that rifling really tight, man. Well, like that 73 Winchester, that thing loves those hollow bases. I mean, that thing was like, meh, with regular bullets, but with hollow base, that thing is like,
I bet you those originals are 1,000 or 2 over.
Oh, they definitely are. Me and Jake, we talked about that once when he got his, because I was like, mine are very different than like size wise, because his was redone, and I think this one's got a lot of wear in it as well. But
well, I know that on 41 rimfire and several others, but I know for sure on 41 rimfires on the Remington Derringers and stuff that they had a bigger bore, and what they did was when they switched them over and started rating them for smokeless, and even those 41 rimfire, they rated them for smokeless in the early 1900s. They actually brought the bore and the bullet down
the size,
a little bit, because the idea was it doesn't matter if you shoot this bigger smokeless in or black powder in this new one, but if you try to shoot this smaller smokeless in the old one, the theory was, according to the book 41 caliber rimfire, the deadliest rim gun in the West, the theory was that with the smaller bullets, if you loaded that smokeless in a gun not rated for it, the gases could escape around the side of the bullet and lower your pressure. I don't know if that works or not.
Supposedly safe, and that sounds perfect on paper. I'm curious how well it works, though.
Yep.
Theoretically, that sounds perfectly acceptable, but I'm just curious. I heard a lot of ammo. I always noticed that too. Right around the going from black powder to smokeless, some of the smokeless stuff changes a little bit in size, and I wonder if that's why they're like, hey, we can make it so A, we could make our guns fit this, and then make it B, so if somebody does stick a smokeless load in their gun, it won't blow up on them as readily.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It does. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Duke's not here yet, guys, for you guys wanting to know. I don't know if he's coming on tonight. He may have had a thing happen. I don't know. But if he doesn't, we'll just all watch on his channel anyway and give him some views. But Jeremy P said, me too on those hollow base bullets. Kodak Tackman said, y'all fellas, Plowboy, AR American, Duke, classic guns today, and everything black powder are the reason Santa Claus came early for me. Picked up a Model P a couple days back in 45 Colt, of course.
Nice.
That's the one to get, the Model P.
It is always the one to get.
4 clicks. Now, I'm pretty sure that's 4 clicks anyway.
Now, is it the post or the pre or the post? Does it have the screw base, or does it have the little what the heck is that thing called? Your base pin. You slide it in and out. You can push on it. Does it have the screw that holds the base pin in, or the little?
I'll use. It's called the plunger, but Duke calls it the dinky.
There you go. I was having a snapper moment.
Okay. Everything black powder said the bore on his 73 Winchester measures 4.26.
I don't remember what mine was, but it was much bigger. Like I want to say it was like in the 4.3 something. So
was Jake's rebarreled?
Yes, I believe his was, because I think it was originally a 38 and somebody redid it. I'm sure he's in the chat. Jake, what was yours again? I don't remember. I think his was a 38, but don't quote me on it. And somebody made it into a 44-40. Sweet looking gun, by the way. That thing is clean. Very nice gun. He got a really good deal on that thing too.
Okay, so Tim O'Neill says double tap shot a box of hollow base wad cutters is the most accurate in a conversion. An open top is stronger than a gun with a top strap for one reason. Steel is stronger under compression than it is in tension. Physics.
It depends on what steel, though.
Yeah, it does.
There are steels made for tension.
I don't know anything about it.
I
know mine holds up.
Read it again real quick. Just read it again.
Okay.
Make sure I know here.
I'll read the last part. An open top is stronger than a gun with a top strap for one reason. Steel is stronger under compression than it is in tension. Physics.
I get what he's saying. But you got to realize too, you're going to end up in tension with a top strap. All right, not having a top strap, it's still under tension. That center arbor is going to be under tension under fire. It's still under tension. Nothing's going to be under compression. Maybe the bottom will actually be under compression, like the very bottom but your arbor is now going to be under tension, and it's only held on by technically a couple threads in the backside. It's plenty strong for what it is. Yeah. If you're shooting black powder, even if you're not shooting black powder, you're not going to really hurt it. It's plenty strong, unless you're using really big loads.
You can't get enough black powder in that case, unless, like you said, somehow you take a 405 grain bullet, still get 40 grains of powder in there, and then shave the front of that 405 grain bullet off at the front of the cylinder. That's the only way I know of that you could possibly hurt it. Because I know Jake's even done it with 405 grain bullets, but when he pushes them in far enough to work, you can't get that much powder in it. Right. Jake said his gun was originally a 38-40. Yeah, so I imagine when it was rebarreled, it was with a little more modern barrel for a 44-40. Kodak said it's a pre-war model with Cattleman 2 system, but I'm hoping to change out the hammer and trigger, and if that doesn't work, I'll go for the Plowboy modification. I don't know.
No, it's a pre-war. I didn't know. I've never seen any of the. Well, hold on.
They do, unless it's considered. There's the old model, the pre-war, and the newer one. So there's technically three, right?
So the old model would be like the replica of the 96s and newer.
Yeah.
73 that was made in 96 and newer. So it's got the little transfer bar. The transition.
The old model would be 73 to 96.
Oh, so like my originals with the base pin screw.
I think pre-war is 96 to like 17. Which they still have like the pin.
Yeah, you're right.
Thing. I have to look at there because it's not exact because the guns weren't exact through those years, And then I'm pretty sure the post-war is got the medallion in it. Push over.
Gotcha. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Wide square sights, non-pinch sights. I think. Anyway. Yeah,
I don't own a lot of replicas of them, so I'm always trying to realize which one is what. I didn't know they made the three-click Cattleman 2 system on those.
They do
with the screw for the base pin.
Except for this, they don't do it with the screw for the base pin. Only the ones with the.
Oh, his was the pre-war, right?
Yeah, original old model pre-war.
Pre-war. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay, that Cattleman 2 system, in theory, that thing sounds so neat. But in practice, that thing is garbage. It's garbage. Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't be able to replace it. Duke has, if you can find the parts.
And the thing too is, I've actually messed around with enough from the Cattleman to the Piettas and whatnot. As long as you know how to time one of these guns, and you don't even really need to know how to. Well, yeah, you need to learn how to time them. You know how to time them. You can use a Pietta hammer. They'll fit. Mm-hmm. You can make it work. But preferably you'd want a U-Birdie to not have to change any of the timing.
Those old U-Birdie hammers are around. It's
pretty
easy to fix. Or just go call up Cimarron and tell them you need. They probably won't, according to Duke, they may not sell it to you if you tell them it's for a new model. But just tell them you need a hammer and a trigger for an old model. Just don't
there
tell
you
them
go.
New model.
and that's the thing too, is if you look at the base pin version of it, or where it has the base screw, the very early version they sell, that's got the 4-click hammer in it. Just buy that exact one. It should fit perfectly. Well, that's made by Pietta, isn't it?
Which one?
The really early ones with the base pin screw.
No, they're made by U-Birdie too.
Are they made by U-Birdie too?
That's the only one Cimarron still sells with a 4-click hammer. Is the old one?
I always thought that one was a Pietta though.
No, that one's a U-Birdie.
Whichever. Yeah,
U-Birdie and Pietta both make them, but Cimarron's old model P, like the one I have, is a U-Birdie. Cimarron's Frontier is the Pietta.
That's the Pietta. Okay. Sorry, I'm still learning the replica side.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
Still learning that, guys.
AR American said, I know Buffalo Bore will pull your arbor out after about 500 rounds. You heard it here, folks. If you stop,
you heard it right here.
If you stop at 499 rounds, you're perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. And by the way, that was in. I believe that gun was in 44 Special that he did that too. So he was. I think Buffalo Bore 44 Special's hotter than Skeeter loads. So that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure.
I know he got it working right away. It didn't take him very long to get it all fixed.
Yeah. Tim O'Neill said wedge is under compression and wedges are fitted. My wedges are fitted and perfect. An overshot wedge will have marks from the arbor. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the wedge is under compression, but the arbor is going to be under tension.
I don't know how because you got different kinds of steels in the older guns too, and like you've said, some of those guns when they stretch, or they don't stretch, adds or decreases your power. So
yeah,
you were saying like you point out that your original Griswold and Gunnison, because it doesn't stretch like steel, right? Because it's iron.
It does not. It's so.
It actually tighter.
It holds that is actually pretty neat about that gun because it's iron. It's not steel. It's iron. It's just wrought iron. It's not as flexible. So I think of it as being it's more dense and it's not more dense. It's more dang it. Sorry, I'm having a snapper moment. Crap, I can't think of the thing. Well, you have the ones that can move around and the ones that can't. Yeah. Much more fragile. It break more like glass. That's the way that steel set up. The iron on it's harder. It will break more like glass. It's not elastic. It won't move and come back. But what's neat about that is when it does that, it's actually pushing more power. It seems to make more because it's not using the power to stretch open and then come back down. And all the power is being sent out.
Your cylinder gap's not moving.
Yeah, the cylinder gap's not moving, and then the cylinder itself, it's not expanding under each fire and coming back. They'll move, very, very little, but they move, and that steel just does, or iron doesn't do that.
Like I can tell you this from experience, a modern
brittle.
Modern
That's
gun,
what I was looking for.
A modern gun with a 3,000 cylinder gap will give you like 40 feet per second more on average than a modern gun with like an 8,000 cylinder gap. So that's probably what's going on. You're not spreading that barrel away from the gun. You're getting a little more FPS, getting a little more power.
The lovely part of the brass is I don't know. I didn't even put 100 rounds, not even close to 100 rounds to that gun. And it's already starting to open up. Yep. The brass is too soft. It's made from church bells and whatnot. It's real brass. It's not like a mixed with zinc. An
alloy. It's just
I don't think it is. I think it's straight brass because it is soft. Copper. I mean, it is really soft. You could almost like push it in with your thumb, your nail. You could scratch it with your nail. It's soft.
Serpent Hanzo said, just made it. Hi, everyone. Small caliber arms review. Richard said brittle. Yes, that's the word he was looking for.
Brittle, exactly. That's the word we were looking for. Brittle. I need to take that gun out and shoot it some more. It's been a while.
Desert Boy said to Kodak Pac-Man, yep, had trouble with my cattleman first going shooting, but gun store took care of timing and got that safe, quote unquote, firing pin working. All good now with you 225 grain FTX jacketed.
Very nice. Very nice.
Kodak said also came with 45 ACP cylinder, so I figured contingency plan brass. Very good.
Yeah.
Caleb's a big fan of those 45 ACP revolvers. I prefer a little more, but that's just me. It all does about the same.
Thought of it. Always thought about it. I mean, it's basically if you wanted something kind of equivalent, they got that 45 Cowboy special. It's basically 45 Colt cut to 45 ACP.
Well, 45 ACP balls pretty close to 30 grains of black powder and a 255 grain bullet ballistically.
It is, yeah. Ballistically.
It might shoot a little flatter because it's a lighter bullet, but I don't know. I haven't ever actually tried. I know what it shoots FPS because I've just reloaded 400 or 500 for Caleb and 45 ACP, but I don't know how it actually shoots at range.
Is that what he's shooting out of that Webley?
No, those are actual Those are my 255 grain Colt bullet, but Webley requires a 4.55 bullet, and if you're cast, you need to be 1,000ths over. Those are 4.52s, and they're 250 grain. But if I make them out of pure lead, they're actually about 262. And so the original bullet needs to be a 260 grain 4.55 or 4.56. So what I did to do it was I cast them out of pure soft lead, is like that solder. Actually, I used solder to get them, and they cast out a little heavy, but pretty close to weight. And then I just, in order to get them bumped up to size, I just powder coated them 3 times. And then I was up there at 4.56, and then I had loaded in 45 ACP brass, which is not perfect, but it's a shave Webley. So they did that in America, but that was as close as I could get the rounds for that gun.
And that's why they were so powder coated. Because I was looking, I was like, wow, those are very powder coated projectiles.
Yeah, they were bright blue. But I had to do that. It was either that or buy a Webley mold for like $200, which is basically the same thing, but a round nose. And I was like, we can get it there with this, but and granted, since it's a shaved Webley and you have to use 45 ACP brass.
5 ACP, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot regular 45 ACP ammo through those, because 45 ACPs shoot on like 20,000 PSI, and the original Webleys are rated for like 15,000.
Yeah, so you don't want to do that.
I used green dot powder, and I got it written down, but I can't remember exactly what. But the first time I shot through the chronograph, I was like, is this for real? Because those 255 grain bullets were going 650 feet per second. And Ethan's like, yeah, that's how slow the Webley round should be going, around that to 700. And I was like, okay, I see what they're going for here. No recoil, nice heavy bullet, moving slow down range, kind of falls out of the sky at about 50 yards.
You know what this reminds me of? Me and my son watched the new John Wick that came out.
Yeah.
And there was a part where he's handing the lady a Webley, and my son thought it was the gun from the prior movie where he builds it while he's like in the fight. He like
I've watched that in slow motion, and that.
So did I. It looks like he uses a Remington new model,
Colt cylinder, and
with a 51 Navy like barrel and a single action Army cylinder.
My first question was, how did he
none of it would work.
51 Navy barrel in the Remington frame?
And I was like, how did he put a 51 Navy barrel on a Remington? They're screw on. Like they don't. I'm just sitting there. I'm showing my son that, and the funniest part is when he picks up and he takes the hammer off. He takes the hammer off of an 1860 Army, but it's the non-shooting replicas that are like $50-$60. My son has one, and it looks just like my son's. I mean, exactly like my son's. Even has the same maker, same everything. My son thought it was the coolest thing ever to see his gun and John Wick. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, they definitely didn't know what they were doing when they made that part. They should have used somebody a little bit more expertise into that field, because nothing they did was possible.
Maybe there's some fancy gun like that in a museum somewhere that it does work that way, Snapper.
I just don't know of any 51 Navy barrel or anything that screws on.
Mount anything off of a Colt onto a Remington, especially since this is a museum and they're supposed to be originals.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just sitting there going, what?
Maybe he tried to put it on there and then off camera dropped it, realized that's not going to work somehow. Where did he get the ammo? Was it just an old like?
No, he picks it up like from the display. There's like a little display of ammo, and he picks that up, fits it, and like, oh crap, like it won't work in the gun that it fits in. So he starts using that cylinder and putting it in different guns, so he can make one gun that works with that bullet. So I was like, then you're gonna need.
And if you tried that in a real museum and it did go off, that barrel's probably welded shut.
Oh, I know. Especially in today's museums. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I say never, ever, ever put your gun into a museum, because during the Obama administration, they made laws and rules on some museums where they have to physically make the gun so it could never be fired. And normally that requires them welding the barrel closed. And I don't have that in me. I think I would steal a gun before I let it get welded closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeremy P says, can you use 45 auto rim brass in a shaved Webley? I don't know. I've never tried. I think you could. I don't think it's too long.
I don't see why you couldn't.
I I just don't have any. I actually looked for some for Caleb. I know you can use them in the 1917 guns, but
I wonder if you should try that 45 Colt Cowboy and that Webley, because you won't need those little star clips, because it's got an actual, it's like a 41 Colt or 45 Colt, excuse me. But it's trimmed to 45 ACP length. So imagine a 45 ACP with a rim. That's basically what it is. So then you don't need that little clip that clips into it. That might be cool to might be able to be worked. Curious.
Robert Allgood said brass is zinc and copper. I think zinc and Cu. Is that copper?
Yeah.
Gunmetal.
The amount of
Cu and lead. Lead
copper. Yep. The amount of zinc depends on how brittle the metal is, and depending on what it's for, like a bell, they don't want it to be as brittle. They don't want it to shatter. So they usually use more copper over zinc.
Yeah. And
so it's higher in copper than it is zinc.
Sorry. Okay. Hascat said, I picked up you birdie 61 Richard Mason 5.5 inch. Going to be my EDC and snake gun, loading 225 grain powder coated lead on 35 grains and 180 grains of number 12 shot with 6 grains of tight group for snake. Yeah, we've been having this not debate. We haven't debated it at all, actually, but we've been having this discussion here lately on powder coating and black bullets with black powder and how well it'll work.
I'm curious what results are from certain somebody in the chat.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get a video on it pretty soon.
I hope so. You know who we're talking about watching the chat. We watching you.
Yeah, Jared 1860 said, watch director's comment on the piece together gun on John Wick. He meant it as a nod to Tuco's gun. Well, that makes sense, but Tuco's gun made more sense.
Yeah, I did.
Everything, or Jake said, I shot some 45 auto rim load. I don't know if he means through I don't know if that means he shot it through a Webley or not. He might have shot it through 45 Colt or Colt. But he said a shot 45 auto rim loaded with 20 grains of 3F of toilet paper powder and a 250. Okay, he said a 250 grain powder coated bullet, and they clocked at 650 feet per second. Okay, how did the powder coating work? That's the question. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
That's the question.
Yeah, he said, and if it's a shaved Webley, it should take 45 auto rim. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Tim O'Neill said had a 6-hour 44 mag Outlaw from FIE long ago after 5,000 rounds cracked a cylinder, bulged another chamber, just wore out.
Yeah.
I know that their quality has come up over the years, though, too, on a lot of these replicas, but I don't know that for sure. That's a thing. Okay. Desert Boy said, let's have a session where we recommend which 7 weapons Western John Wick carries 1882 to 1892 time frame. Which guns would he pick? 7 weapons? That's a lot of weapons.
That is a lot of weapons.
He already uses a Derringer, a Bond Arms, so I'm pretty sure he'd be pretty familiar with a Remington over and under Derringer.
Yeah. He has to have a single action army in that time frame. You have to. I think there's something like in the Bible, if you live in that time frame and you don't have a single action army, like, you're wrong.
It's John Wick. He's going to have a speed loader.
He's got to have it. He's going to have
a 1880s Smith & Wesson Model 3 double action brake top with a speed loader.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's exactly what he would have, honest to God.
1880 to 1892, there is a, what am I thinking of the name of it?
I bet you they would go for the Merwin Hulbert as well, just because to look cool.
There is a pump action shotgun out there. It's not the Winchester in 1882. It's the it's not called the Roper. It's called the, what is it? Snapper, you know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's they did it first. I'll think of it eventually. There is a pump action shotgun. It's not the best in the world, but it is out there. I've
had that night, man. I'm snapper brain.
I can't think. I know it. Oh, by Landon C's in here. Hi. He could probably tell you a bunch of cool guns. I'm pretty sure he would have a Remington Keen, since I'm looking here. Or if not by Landon C, not a Remington Keen, but a Lee Enfield already exists at this point as a long pattern or long Lees. There's all kinds.
There's a lot of neat guns that he could have used. A lot of really
Western John Wick. So all kinds of stuff he could use.
Yeah.
Okay. Doug Duke said, I disagree, Snapper. Yes, ask questions, but I know of no museums in Texas that weld up or change guns. I facilitated loans to several museums. No changes.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
That's good to hear, because I know that up north, there's a lot of changes.
There's a lot of changes of places we know people who work at, or people I'm friends with who, they're very big and don't ever donate your guns. Just sell them. It's safer for them in a sad way.
It also depends on if it's a firearms museum or it's a museum that has a couple firearms.
Yeah. It's also Texas, and thank God for Texas. I mean, let's be honest here too. They're the kind of people who will probably pull guns on somebody trying to weld the barrel shut. Hopefully, still. I grew up there. I mean, we loved our guns, and nobody's going to hurt my gun but me.
I know a certain museum right now. I'm not going to say which one, but I know for a fact that they knew so much not about guns that they dipped and filled every gun with candle wax and then let them set for years. Until basically, in order to get them clean, they're going to have a grant to make the guns move again.
And you know what's sad is that wax. That wax has got to be acidic in some way. It's got to be.
Oh yeah, they're going to have. I think they're going to have a grant to clean those up. But yeah,
you know what you have to do with those? Take the grips off of them and have a big pot of boiling distilled water and just throw them in.
Yep. And they're not going to let them do that.
No, I'm sure they're not. Poor things. Those poor things.
But yeah.
We have an F in the chat for those beautiful guns.
I'm sure he deals with lots of museums that are good about it.
A matter of fact, Doug, could you do us a big favor? Could you let us know of museums that don't like that actually don't do that kind of crazy stuff, and museums that you worked with, so we know of museums that we should be supporting? Would you please do such things, please? Please, please, please. Because I'd like to know of a museum that doesn't do that. That'd be great.
West Covina Dodge said, I made some glow-in-the-dark powder-coated hollow points, paper patched so they work fine.
Cool.
That's a good idea.
That's cool. I've always thought, have you ever seen they have a bullet now that they make that has a really bright red on the back of the bullet? So it's not that it actually has, it looks like it's got a tracer, but it's not. I've always wondered, painting the back of a bullet to see if you could actually see it fairly decently. Actually works okay or not, but yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Everything Black Powder said John Wick has to have a Schofield. That's where I went with the Model 3 double action. That's why I went with the Model 3 double action. It's basically just a Schofield with a double action.
But double action, exactly. Yeah. With speed loaders, I think that would be the fastest shooting, fastest reloading gun of the West would be it.
We have a short of Ethan
double action
fast, dumping them, reloading, and shooting fast, and it's literally the fastest Old West gun out there, I think.
Yeah. And they made speed loaders for them. They made speed loaders for them.
In the 1880s. Yes, they did. West Covina Dodge said a Bowie knife is a must.
Yeah, you don't see. Well, yeah, you do. You see John Wick take out a knife every now and then. Yeah, that's right. He does. Yeah. You definitely have a Bowie knife.
Serpent Hanzo said, I actually think the scene from John Wick was really a homage to Nordberg from the Naked Gun movie. And Reed Desert Boy said, what about a backup pepper box? I could see that.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. That actually makes sense too.
Got 8 shots, sometimes all at once. Scott Loco said sharp shotgun. Hey, we got one of those. It doesn't work. I need to get some parts for it. Spencer. Yeah, it was a Spencer. It was a Spencer pump gun. Yeah. That's the one I was thinking of. Spencer made a pump action shotgun. It didn't work very well, but they made it before Winchester did. Yeah, Spencer, you guys are right. That's what I just couldn't. Texas Ranger Hall of Fame and Museum of Waco, Texas. Yeah, I would imagine those would be
nice.
Because another one, obviously, is the Cowboy Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City. They're good with guns. But your average podunk, when I say podunk, I don't mean that, but your average little government-funded county museum, they're bad about it. They don't care for them to start with. I mean, they'll sit for years behind that. Moisture doesn't matter what. Nobody will ever clean them. And a lot of times their regulations are remove the firing pin, which is fine on some guns. But how do you remove the firing pin on a cap and ball revolver? I know one museum that is specified the barrels have to be blocked because they can't remove the firing pin. So they can't remove the firing. That's like you could take the nipples out, but nope, that's not good enough. So that's one I know of.
It's so sad. It's so sad. Speaking of that, do you remember that I put a there was a guy in like the 1960s. He got caught recently, and I think he's from one of the upstates. I sent the thing to you and Jake, and this guy stole like some of the most valuable guns ever in the 1960s. He had a Walker. He had a couple other crazy guns, and he finally got caught, and there was a Walker and a bunch of other guns in his attic, in a safe in his attic. This guy had it the whole time. The craziest thing is he got like no punishment for it. He got like a couple days in jail or something like that, and then like a small fine, a really small fine. And I think he ended up with probation. I was like, all that for a Walker?
Tim O'Neill said 1882 10-gauge Winchester lever-action shotgun. Wouldn't that be 1887? Yeah, I think that would be.
I thought it was, yeah.
Well, the 10-gauge might be the 1901.
The lever-action one, right? That's the 87, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Jeremy P. said, did Marlin come out with the pump before Winchester?
I want to say it was Spencer. I could have sworn it was Spencer.
Not shotgun.
Like before one, you know?
Okay. George, sorry, Doc by Land and Sea has the comment. Wick long gun possibility in that time frame. Remington Lee, Schmidt Rubin, maybe an 1889 Colt or an 1892 Colt Navy. Bada bing. That's as modern as you get in that time.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, Desert Boy said, yep, Doug Dukes, no one is messing with all those Texas Ranger guns in the Waco Museum. Nope. So anyway,
I'm glad.
Let's go about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to get into the Christmas music side of this thing. So if you guys have anything else for Snapper, he's got to kind of go and do some other stuff. Oh, Snapper, check this shotgun out. So this is a double barrel. I can't grab it, obviously, but right here above my shoulder. So I call it a tape gun, but it's one of those 1880s, like it's a Wesley gun, I believe it is. I have to look at it, but it's one of those 1880s Belgian-made guns, you know, that were like so common around here. But it's got instead no forend, just a metal flipper rod. I got to do some work on it.
Oh, I get. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Give me that for Christmas. But it's got.
Oh, I got to see some up close to that one.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that.
That's pretty sweet.
Anyway,
and one thing again, because I don't know if who's still watching from before. This is the last show with the mask. The mask is coming off the next show. The New Year's show. 2 weeks from today. Be there.
3 years.
Yep. 3 years, man. I've been back here under this mask, starving for oxygen for 3 years.
You were doing that when masks were cool.
Oh, God. Masks were never cool.
He was country when country wasn't cool. He was masked.
Yeah.
Cool. Jake.
But the mask is going away, gentlemen.
Yeah. I can't say I need any, but I might take some. So dramatic, Speedy. Snapper, I had a question. Outlaw Man says, what is the most authentic single-action Army clone currently on the market? 4 clicks and all, the Cimarron Model P.
Like I said, I don't know the replicas all that much, but from what I've heard, the one that's made by Pieta, that if you watch Guns of the Old West, Dustin from Guns of the Old West, he's got one that's a 7.5 inch Yeah, is that a Frontier he has?
Mm-hmm.
Pieta made it. To me, that looked like the closest you could get. But technically, the closest replica that you could get would be a U.S. Firearms made.
Well,
The
that's
U.S.
more
Firearms
for a
company.
replica than an original.
And it makes no sense to me. And don't get me wrong, they are amazing guns. And what's crazy is they're extremely extreme. Well, they were even made under the Colt dome when those were made, and they're actually made better than the originals because these are all CNC'd out of a chunk of like block. But of all the guns I've ever personally seen in person, the one that I looked at, the U.S. Firearms felt the most like an original first model single action Army. The early ones, like mine, the black powder frames.
If you're looking for an affordable one, one of the Italian ones,
ask Garrett this question. He knows this better.
Ubertis have bigger cylinders than originals.
Yes, they do.
Pietas have smaller cylinders than Ubertis, but I don't know if they're the same size as originals.
I don't know. I've never tried putting a Pieta cylinder in mine. I don't have a Pieta cylinder to try. But I know that the Uberti doesn't even come close. It's really big.
Uberti went to a coil handspring at one point.
Yep.
And I think Pieta does too now, but I couldn't swear to it. Duke says he's seen some that did. So that would be different. But honestly, I don't mind the coil handspring because I broke a lot of handsprings. I broke a lot of handsprings on the older ones.
Colt actually did that for a while too in the 90s. That you could special order it that way. People back in the 50s and 60s. I've seen for original first gens that had coil handsprings that somebody put in a long time ago, like in the 50s. Trying to be cool.
A lot of times I replace that trigger and bolt spring with a wire spring anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't ran Authentics still had. Did Authentics use wire springs in the 73 later on, or just flat springs always?
They've always had flat springs. Bone stock. I like the wire spring just because I don't like to break those original ones. They're much heavier, but when they break, you just broke something that's really, really old. So I prefer the wire spring
all the time. Replicas break all the time if you're doing anything even slightly aggressive. Let's see. Turkey Creek 1823 said Marlin 1893 1893 shotgun. So the real question is who came out first in 1893 because Winchester came out with an 1893 shotgun too. Mm-hmm. So I wonder who came out first. That'd be something interesting to study. I need to look into that. Oregon Outback said masks are cool when holding up stagecoaches.
They are. They're very helpful for that.
AR American said the pistoleros are all 4-click. That's what I built my race gun on. I'm pretty sure those are Pietas, aren't they?
I think those are Pietas too.
I think Pieta only makes 4-clicks still. I don't know if Pieta even makes a 3-click. They make one with a transfer safety bar, but it's a whole different.
There is one thing you definitely have to do, though. If you get one, no matter what it is, if it's the early black powder frame gun, the love of God, change out that firing pin because they don't look like that. Like
they're fat.
The firing pin that you see on them that's scalloped, that is the later one that didn't come out till like right after 1900.
If you're looking for authenticity.
If you're looking for authenticity, like they look like a freaking road cone, like the just big triangle, big old fat triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks so weird looking at one that's a black powder frame with the right ejector, the bullseye ejector and everything. Then you cock it back and it has a scalp firing pin on it. It looks so strange.
If you're looking for one, you want to see what they look like. The Colt collectors they're actually labeled black powder firing pins, as far as I know. So if you want to see what one actually should look like, I
probably should do some more videos online up close.
Jeremy P said he has 2 USFAs and he loves them.
Ooh, very nice, very nice.
Your thoughts on single action Army from Standard Manufacturing?
I have never messed with one yet, but
they're expensive.
As a matter of fact, the only one I've ever seen, I saw at the Las Vegas Antique Arms Show, and I actually met the owner of Standard Manufacturing when I was there, and we walked around with him for a while. Really nice guy. The guns look really, really nice, but boy, they're pricey.
Okay, Doc has a question. He said, are the USFA single action Army pistols actually clones? I mean, made where the originals were made. And the
technically, no.
A myth I heard is they're made on original machinery that Colt used.
They were not made on original machinery. They were made on CNC machines. I know that for a fact because I've actually seen original pieces that were being cut with USA.
I was about to say, you'd think that machinery would be wore out at this point.
Yeah, they used all CNC machines. That gun was completely 100% CNC cut with brand new modern. They were 6-axis CNC machines they were using. And they were all made out of tool steel. Like every component of the gun was blocked tool steel that was cut out CNC. That's why they were so expensive. But they were made in the Colt factory. So technically, and the thing too is like, if you bought a Colt right now, right? It wasn't made in the same Colt factory that these were. These were made in the old factory. And the old factory is where those USFA guns were made. So those are the closest to an original first gen, or like say even a second gen that you could get. They're even made in the right spot. And the nice ones, those even with the standard manufacturing, because standard manufacturing is pretty much the same thing now, but they're just not made at the Colt factory. They're all brand new cut out of block from a CNC machine, so they're actually high tool steel that are CNC cut. Like nothing is a casting, nothing is a forging. It's all just billet CNC'd. And they get sent to Turnbull to be color case hardened. And that's what U.S. manufacturing, U.S. Firearms used to do, and Standard does that now too. So Standard is just like U.S. manufacturing was, but the only difference is it's not made in the same factory. They have a very similar fashion of being made. And the U.S. Firearms, depending on, I haven't seen all of them, but most of them had the right hammer, the non-scalloped hammer. And I know that Standard manufacturing is the same way. They actually have the right, like, early firing look cone, the big triangle, basically it looks like a road cone. And they use a 3-date address on the frame, just like the earlier ones did. Like all mine are 3. I would like to get one from the 1870s as a 2-date, but these are all 3-date Colts.
Yeah. So Snapper, you got anything coming up?
There's so much that I have filmed and done and ready to be released that I haven't just put out yet. I need to. A matter of fact, I'll just ask everybody, what would you guys rather see? The Remington Iroquois, the little tiny pocket pistol, or the LeMat?
Is that even a question? The LeMat.
I have a feeling it's going to be the LeMat.
The Remington.
The LeMat's a replica. It's not an original. The LeMat's is a replica. It's Pieta replica. Thank you very much, Squibload. Love you, buddy. It's Squibload's gun. I got to get back to him. But LeMat or that original. It's a little tiny pocket gun. An original from the 1870s. Remington Iroquois. It's the smallest Remington ever made.
Yep. Doc loudly votes for the LeMat.
There's one.
So, anyway, one more thing. Jeremy P. said USFA made an original building on modern machinery with modern steels, but still charcoal heat treat blue.
Yeah, it is. It's real heat treat blue. It actually had a real color case hardened, so that's kind of cool.
All right. Turkey Creek said, Garrett, I love your music, but I'm turning in. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Well, good night, Turkey Creek. No, you didn't miss the music. We're about to start that, Alpine. We're about to start that right now. So anyway, I guess Snapper's got to go do some stuff anyway. So right at an hour.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, guys.
I'm not running off, though, if you got something else to say.
No, I actually really do. I've actually had to pop up on my phone twice now to call these people. Okay. So I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. And remember, the next show, no more masks. So be there, guys. Take care. Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you too, Garrett. Thank you and all the Woods family. I love you guys. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Snapper, for another year on the chat.
Of course, brother. Of course. Take care, everybody.
See you later. All right.
Merry Christmas.
All right. We're full screen. I got a crew in here. All right. Well, bring me a guitar. If you guys got any requests, throw them out there. This is what we call a guitar pull. So basically, everybody in here that knows how to, I'm going to change my microphone around. We're going to move some stuff around here. I know that's kind of right in the way of everybody. Let's see if we can get that up higher. Okay, so I should have just changed my mic sound a little bit, but you want to switch with Olivia because she's going to be a little closer. And let me know if you guys can hear us okay. Last year we had a little bit of issue with people getting straightened out. What was that? Your couch. Somebody dropped a shotgun on a Colt case. Okay. Anyway. All right. So, are we in tune?
I think so.
So I'll lose these. Throw them like barrel now. We'll see your blank up there. What should we start out with? Sorry, guys, if this little cheap microphone don't pick everybody up well. I'm going to turn the pick in the right direction. Probably. Now this is a guitar pull. It ain't no guitar sitting on the strap on your neck. Huh? I guess I'll get first. Ready? All ready? Christmas time's coming. Christmas time's coming. Christmas time's coming. And I know I'm going home. Can you hear them bells ringing, ringing? Joy, joy, hear them singing. When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. Holly's in the window, home is where the wind blows. I can't walk running when Christmas time's coming. Can you hear them bells ringing, ringing? Joy, joy, hear them singing. When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. All right, so if everybody doesn't know who everybody is here, this is my sister Olivia. Of course, you all know Ethan and brother Noah. So he's hiding underneath the microphone there. So anyway, we got already one request, and I'll do this one. This one, actually, I was going to do anyway for Jeremiah, if this is the key I did in. I don't remember what key I did this in. I just did this one in a concert. It's for Kodak Tackman out there. You got it? Old toy trains, little toy tracks, little boy toys. I told you there's going to be a lot of key changes.
I was gonna say that was my key, so yours.
Old toy trains, little toy tracks, little boy toys, coming from a sack, carried by a man dressed in white and red. Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? Close your eyes, listen to the skies. All is calm, all is well. Soon you'll hear Chris ringing the jingle bells, bringing old toy trains, little toy tracks, little boy toys, coming from a sack, carried by a man dressed in white and red. Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? Close your eyes, listen to the skies. All is calm, all is well. Soon you'll hear Chris ringing the jingle bells. Old toy trains, little toy tracks, little boy toys, coming from a sack, carried by a man dressed in white and red. Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? That one's kind of like the song that never ends. If you let it keep going, it'll go forever. All right, so green sleeves. I'm not that talented. Let's see. What's the Christmas name of that song? I can't even think. What child is this? Yeah, I doubt I could do that one even if I tried. Could you? This is a guitar.
I'm a penny whistle. It broke.
Oh, I don't know. To try.
You can try it.
I think it has some weird notes. I don't even know all the words actually.
Yeah. What child is this? If you can't do it, we'll just skip it.
Yeah, let's just skip it.
Let's just skip that. Well, it's still yours.
Okay.
First Noel is a suggestion, right?
The first Noel, the angels did say,
to certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Do away in a manger. That's for Diane wants to do the make way in a manger.
Away in a manger, no crib for a bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky look down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. The cattle are lowing, the baby awakes. The little Lord Jesus no crying he makes. I love thee, Lord Jesus, look down from the sky and stay by my cradle till morning is nigh.
Very good. Oh, my turn. You did two. I'll do two. Let's do one verse and a couple of these. There's a choir outside of my house, singing Silent Night. Everything that's gone wrong, Christmas makes it right.
Kids are singing Christmas Kids are singing Christmas carols and everybody's holding hands.
We got that Christmassy feeling again, singing joy to the world. Here comes Santa Claus,
Mama's making turkey,
and Daddy's cooking popcorn balls.
sisters hanging mistletoe, there's goodwill to all men.
We got that Christmassy feeling again, singing joy to the world. Here comes Santa Claus,
Mama's making turkey,
Daddy's cooking popcorn balls.
sisters hanging mistletoe, there's goodwill to all men.
We got that Christmassy feeling again. You know the second verse?
There's happiness in my heart with Christmas on its way, with the family all back together again. Oh, what a happy day. I hope it snows and the north wind blows. My boy wants a little toy train.
We got that Christmassy feeling again, singing joy to the world. Here comes Santa Claus,
Mama's making turkey,
and Daddy's cooking popcorn balls.
sisters hanging mistletoe, there's goodwill to all men.
We got that Christmassy feeling again. Just so you guys know, her and I have never been able to sing in the same key.
Never. It's terrible.
So one of us always has to compromise. Oh, there's Gina Woods. Say goodnight, AR American. Pastor Jeff Woods in. Hi, Dad. Let's see. We had another one up here. Oh, Holy Night. Who's brave enough to pull that one?
I know.
You can sing it, but play it. Oh, yeah, you do it. It's your turn.
Lisa, thank
You guys got any more requests? Throw them out there. Otherwise, we'll just do what we want. Ethan, you got any good ideas?
Oh, not really. If I can remember the words, yeah. Here come Lawson. I can't remember the words.
Here we go, a wassailing.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and ever pining till he appeared, and the soul felt its word. A thrill of hope. The weary world rejoices for yonder grace, a new and glorious morn. On your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine.
Hey, we made it. We did it. I don't remember all the words of that one. I saw Mama kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night. We're not going to do that. All the words today. I tried. I'm sorry. I actually tried, Doc. Earl Shiner said outstanding music. Y'all sound beautiful together. Ooh, Kent, what child is this? Ain't they're getting all the minor keys.
I know.
We were going to do that green sleeves, but I can't promise it. Ethan, this is more your style.
Why don't you sit up?
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthem sweet, while shepherds watch our keeping. This yeah, we can't do it. I can't find all the keys. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. This is Christ the King, the babe, the Son of Mary. While I in such mean estate, where ox and ass are bleating, good Christian fear for sinners here, the silent word is pleading. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. This is Christ the King, the babe, the Son of Mary. Must be Christmas again. I don't know that one. You know that one? Run, Rudolph. I don't know if I can do that one yet.
Adeline loved that.
Add more Adeline style. Yes, what a wonderful rendition. Okay, let's try. Now, now Jesus Christ was born in a stable, and shepherds watching sheep were first to hear that a Savior came to save us. Our God is now among us. Such news a country heart sure hold dear. And silent night was a holy night, and joy to the world, song the cowboy. And come all ye faithful, meant for hearts quite simple, and that eastern star shines on this western boy. Jesus Christ still works in a stable where souls are saved and lives completely changed. I'm sure he loves the city, I know he loves the country, and that is why this Christmas song I sing. And Silent Night was a country night, and joy to the world for mountain men. And come all ye faithful, meant for hearts quite simple, and that eastern star shines on this western boy. And come all ye faithful, meant for hearts quite simple, and that eastern star shines on this western boy. Christmas time down south. What's that, Alabama? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did that go?
one.
Right now in New York City. Yeah. I don't know very well. I'm sorry. We want to skip that one. Okay.
Down here in Sun City, don't ever
This
smell.
snowflake's on the ground.
You guys know Marshmallow World? It's Bing Crosby. I can't play it, but I can sing it.
Sing it. I know that Adeline
Yeah,
likes
you
it.
know. It's a marshmallow day in the winter when the snow comes to cover the ground. It's a time for play. It's a whipped cream day. I wait for it the whole year round. Those are marshmallow clouds being friendly in the arms of the evergreen tree. And the sun is red like a pumpkin head. It's shining so your nose won't freeze. The world is your snowball just for us. Or that's how it goes. That's how it grows whenever it goes. The world is your snowball just for a song. Get out and roll it along. Now I can't remember the rest of it. I hate it when I do that.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the tree tops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. You want it? They're too high.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday stuff. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner, you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Some people don't know this, but growing up, that's the way we open every Christmas morning. We're open presents. Bing Crosby. We're big Bing Crosby fans around here. Just wait till St. Patrick's Day shows up. We don't have to sing all Christmas songs. Have you?
How about that?
Can do a mixture in between St. Patrick's Day and Christmas and do a Christmas.
Have you ever been across the sea to Ireland? And maybe at the closing of your day, you can sit and watch the moon rise over Gloucester and see the barefoot blossoms as they play something. I always like the last verse. For the breezes blow. No verse. For the strangers came and tried to teach us their ways. They blamed us just for being what we are. But they might as well go chasing after moonbeams or light a penny candle from a star. For the breezes blowing o'er the seas from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they play. Anyway, yeah, so now we've done our St. Patrick's Day music. Outlaw Man said Silver Bells was my grandmother's favorite. Lovely work, y'all. Oh, thank you. That's actually one of my grandpa's favorites. You were great, Grandpa. Thank you for doing Oh Holy Night. It's my favorite Christmas song. Dixie is Christmas in Dixie is Alabama. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Christmas Time Down South is Charlie Daniels' band. Oh, well, I don't actually know that. Got any requests, Ethan? Any good Christmas songs on the top of your head?
No, not really.
You can't think of any?
Holy Night.
Where is that?
You do Lamplighter.
Oh, yeah. What key did you do that?
I don't know. I think it was D. D.
Just looking at all the books I've accidentally left over here that I've been looking for.
I think it was you. You made the night.
That's way too high for me.
Well, that's high for me, so. You made the night
a little brighter wherever he would go.
I'll fix it for you.
I can say.
I like Jim Reeves music.
He made the night a little brighter wherever he would go. The old lamplighter of long, long ago. The snowy hair seems so much brighter beneath the candle glow. The old lamplighter of long, long ago. You'd hear the patter of his feet as he came toddling down the street. His smile hit a lonely heart, you see. If there were sweethearts in the park, he'd pass a lamp and leave it dark, remembering the days that used to be. For he recalled when things were new. He loved someone who loved him too, who walks with him alone in memory. He made the night a little brighter wherever he would go. The old lamplighter of long, long ago. His snowy hair seems so much brighter beneath the candle glow. The old lamplighter of long, long ago. Now if you look up in the sky, you'll understand the reason why the little stars at night are all aglow. He turns them on when dusk is here, he turns them off when dawn is near. The little man we loved long ago. He made the night a little brighter wherever he
Ethan, Doc wants to hear Meli Kaliki Waka.
Oh, yeah.
Meli
I know this one.
Waka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. That's the island greeting that they sing to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be clean and bright. The sun will shine by day and all the stars by night. Meli Kaliki Waka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. Okay. Kodak Tackman said possibly might pass out, so just in case I do. I'm enjoying all singing all these wonderful songs, listening to Kindred Spirits. Oh, thank you. Can't say after a rough day at work, being able to listen to your great music has put me in a Christmas kind of mood. Thank you. Well, thank you for watching and thank you for saying so. Louisiana Gray said, well, Garrett, I must say your sister has a wonderful voice. Yeah,
Thank you.
she's kind of the star of the show most of the time.
No.
Tim O'Neill says, I'm a Bing Crosby fan too. And by Land and Sea, Doc said, that was awesome. Thank you. That's not my favorite Bing Crosby Christmas song, though.
Oh, Christmas in
The holly green, the ivy green, the prettiest picture you've ever seen. It's Christmas in Killarney with all of the folks at home. 'Tis nice, you know, to kiss your beau while cuddling under the mistletoe. And Santa Claus, you know, of course, is one of the boys from home. The door is always open, the neighbors pay a call. And Father John, before he's gone, will bless the house and all. How grand it feels to kick your heels and join in the fun of the jigs and reels. Handing you no Barney, the lights you've never known. It's Christmas in Killarney with all of the folks at home. Oh, sorry. Anyway, moving on. We got to think of some of our local Christmas songs. About they had
Well, that's an interesting.
they had no decorations, no lights upon the tree, no boxes wrapped with ribbons like those we often see. Nobody seemed to notice as she wrapped the precious one, but the angels sang in heaven, God had given us his son. Mary wrapped a present to this world. Mary wrapped a present to this world. Hey, that was an F minor. When she wrapped her precious son in swaddling clothes to keep him warm. Mary wrapped a present to this world. When I hit that F minor, I thought Olivia was going to fall over. She didn't even knock it. Oh, man. Yes, Christmas in Killarney. What's another Bing Crosby Christmas? I mean, there's a lot of them. I watch White Christmas every Christmas. That's my tradition. The scene where all the army boys are over there singing that always
Put something on there.
You know, Snowflake.
Sing a Southern Rebel song, Alabama, Christmas in Dixie. I don't know Christmas in Dixie that way.
Well,
You
you want to hear a Southern Rebel song? I was wondering if Olivia, I can't remember the name of it. What's that one?
Rebel's Prayer?
No, it's is that Fear, Old Man, or just a, you know that one, Olivia?
I don't think so.
You remember the Rebel's Prayer?
Mm-mm.
In a dreary.
Oh, that, yeah. You know my key.
You want a key change? I'll let you do it if you remember all the words. This is the Rebel's Prayer.
That's definitely. Go back to G for a second. In a dreary Yankee prison, where a rebel soldier lay, by his side there stood a preacher. Every soul should pass passed away, and he faintly whispered, "Parson," as he clutched him by the hand. "Oh, Parson, tell me quickly, will my soul pass through the Southland? Will my soul pass through the Southland to my home, Virginia Grand? Will I see the hills of Georgia and the green fields of Alabama? Will I see that little church house where I pledged my heart and hand? Oh, Parson, tell me quickly, will my soul pass through the Southland?
This song?
No, I had it now.
With his soul.
As a lily in his body sanctified, in that dreary Yankee prison, the brave rebel soldier died. Then the parson looked up to heaven, and in blessing raised his hand. Father, grant the soldier's wishes, may his soul pass through the Southland. Pass through the Southland to my home, Virginia Grand. Will I see the hills of Georgia or the green fields of Alabama? Will I see that little church house where I pledged my heart and hand? Oh, Parson, tell me quickly, will my soul pass through the Southland?
Well, there was your rebel song.
It's tradition at this point.
That's been a while since.
Give me a cotton fields are hot.
Oh, boy.
We want to hear Olivia do some picking. Bring that guitar front and center.
It's tradition at this point. I got to play the pepper box every year.
Bring that guitar front and center. Let's pick a little bit. Let's see what's the key.
It's been a while since.
Them cotton fields were hot. That tractor never was my kind of living. And when I hit 16, I had my sight. I hit the road to freedom. And I'm glad I wasn't there to hear my mama, 'cause I know she cried for hours. I still hear her singing to me, "Get your guitar, pick the wildflowers." Well, Memphis was big, it was and look back down that long road I just traveled. 'Cause like a never-ending ball of twine, my dreams are still unraveled. Now this evening lays a shawl on the shoulder of my life. I find I couldn't tie my life together with guitar strings and poet's heart rise. And I'm glad I wasn't there to hear my mama, 'cause I know she cried for hours. I still hear her singing to me, it's your guitar, pick the wildflowers. Oh, let's see.
You caught me.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Well, so what key do you do that in?
Do what? Hey, that's cheating. That's easier.
Sing it. The right one.
Oh boy. I feel like it's been a long time since I sang anything. I can't even think how it starts.
I'm wine with
Rainbows and raven black hair, with the roses so red and the lilies so fair. That was a bit too rough.
and the meadows of myrtle in the dew.
That's good.
I can't play down there.
Oh, come on. You're just sure.
I messed up. Under the double eagle, under the double eagle, under the double eagle. Yeah, Johnny's Gone for a Soldier. Yes, I think we would be familiar with that one. Just a minute.
I was gonna say, if you think of another one, I got another Civil War song.
What?
I have to sing an acapella though. For that one. You guys can play it. River Runs Red.
Go ahead.
That's
Play us Under the Double Eagle.
Boy, I'm having.
You got too long of fingernails. This is my part I can't do.
What?
Do.
I can't do that for you.
All right, so all right, here's one for Noah. Louisiana Gray wants to hear you do the wearing of the gray.
Oh, I forgot. Where's that one?
Oh, brother.
You're down there
Take
wearing
that
the
cherry.
green.
Yeah, I did the wearing the green.
All right, we'll do the wearing of the green then. Or the rising of the moon, or the wearing of the gray. Whatever the hell. Oh, Patty, have
That's going round. The shamrock is by law forbid to grow on Irish ground.
That's the green.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, Patty, have you heard the news
That's going round. The shamrock is by law forbid to grow on Irish ground.
They're hanging.
Hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. Oh, the wearing of the green. Oh, wearing of the green. They're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green.
Pretty fancy right there. That's fancy singing.
I can't remember that.
Well, I got one.
I hear a whistler in our background. All right, well, we'll do John's Gone for a Soldier when we get back.
I got one.
That's yours.
The River Runs Red by the Steel Drivers. You ever heard that
Oh,
one?
I like the Steel Drivers.
This is a good
River
one. You like?
runs red.
Yeah, you
River
probably-
runs
Yeah.
red.
I had to pull up
Winners and losers.
the, I had to pull up the lyrics.
Okay, go ahead. I'll see if I can quietly.
Yeah, I don't know. this
Okay.
one, so.
31st day of December, 3,000 dressed in blue and gray. All sons of the Heavenly Father, laying a very grave, and the river runs red. The river runs red. One shot woke the Tennessee morning. Soon fire and smoke filled the sky. And then rain, it came down with no warning, as sorrow fell down from all sides, and the river runs red. The river runs red. The river runs red. The river runs red. No winners or losers when you count the dead. We watch it roll by. We all bow our heads. The guns are gone silent, but the river runs red. Now Rogers was from Alabama, and Thomas an old New York town. But soon they would die like blood brothers in the streams where the souls had flowed down, and the river runs red. The river runs red. The river runs red. The river runs red. No winners, losers when you count the dead. We watch it roll by. We all bow our heads. The guns are gone silent, but the river runs red. Some say you could see red for miles, and it flowed that way so many years. Now the water looks clean and untainted, but Stone's River will never run clear. The river runs red. The river runs red. No winners or losers when you count the dead. We watch it roll by. We all bow our heads. The guns are gone silent, but the river runs red.
Yeah,
I always like that one.
That was really good.
Johnny's Gone for a Soldier. You know that one, don't you?
I know that.
You know, we recorded this for a video once upon a
I
time.
know. All this stuff's the most in October.
We did this for a Colt video. I don't think it ever got turned out, though.
No, we did it for the original Revolutionary War musket.
No, Johnny had... Oh, that's right. That's the different
I
one.
sit on buttermilk hill.
That's what I...
Cry my
Here, here I sit on buttermilk hill. Who could blame me, cry my fill. You know this one?
I don't know, but I can try. I don't know the words, but you guys do.
I think I kind of know it a little bit. I've heard it before.
Here I sit on buttermilk hill. Who would blame... I don't know that one that well. Let me see this one. I was thinking of the
I
Loretta
remember
one.
this one. I think.
Oh,
The
yeah.
real one we recorded.
I didn't need the words, though, because it's not.
What was that?
We're
kind of getting away from Christmas, but
No, well, we're having fun.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can think of it, but I can't think of the words to it.
And Johnny,
You'll get it.
trying to think. Take the blank.
It's hard when you're on camera.
I'll remember eventually. How about Sticks That Make Thunder?
Yeah.
How did that start?
I can't remember.
Let me pull up the lyrics.
I know the words to it. I just
Yeah, I
don't know
know.
how it starts. Sticks That Make Thunder.
Well, we're going to pull up the lyrics right quick and cheat.
All I need is the first ones.
My roots are deeper.
My roots
To the others.
deeper. I gotta remember to keep it. My roots are deeper than the bones of the others. Colors they change. I won't do that. Anyway, hanging in there, Kodak Tackman. Thanks. We kind of hit a lull here after we.
Yeah.
I wonder, sticks that make thunder, such a great number lay still. My roots are deeper than the bones of the others. Colors they change. Well, let's do some more Christmas stuff before we get too far out.
Oh, by the way, we're about to come along the anniversary of Stone's River. Might have to do a video on that.
You got any Christmas songs though you can think of off the top of your head?
I said one, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember.
Let's hear.
Too bad Kel wasn't here. He could sing "Where Did My Snowman Go?" Where did my snowman go? Caleb. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. May your days be bright. You've got this one. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. All right, well, let's do one we know we can do. You guys didn't do Heart of Harold Angel singing?
Yeah, we did do that.
Joseph was tired. They've been traveling all day. It was almost midnight before they found a place to stay. So Mom put the burro in the stall, knelt beside his wife. Comfort her, she went through the pain of giving life. And up above, the star was shining brightly in the sky. And Joseph held a baby boy, showed him to his wife. He said, "Merry Christmas, Mary. Let me be the first to say, Merry Christmas, Mary. The Son of God has come to us today." There was someone at the door. Joseph turned to see some plain and simple shepherd men down on bended knee. They talked about an angel who showed them where to come in the middle of the night to see God's only Son. Later came the wise men, bearing gifts and offerings. Joseph led them all to see and praise the newborn King. And they said, "Merry Christmas, Mary. Let me be the first to say, Merry Christmas, Mary. The Son of God has come to us today." Tears of joy were gently flowing out of Joseph's eyes, and up above the angels sang, "Glory to God," and Merry Christmas, Mary. Let us be the first to say, Merry Christmas, Mary. The Son of God has come to us today. Merry Christmas, Mary. The Son of God has come to us today. We're gone for almost an hour. Let's say we go for 15 more minutes. Yeah, that's good.
Got the words.
Oh, yeah. I can get my cable to not be stringing me out there. Is that your key?
I'll find out. Don't take. Go ahead, Jeff.
Don't take
To think, dear John, our country come go.
We'll go to.
Yeah, that's good.
Down there. I really cramped that cable.
Don't take a moment to think, dear John, our country calls and go. Don't fear for me or the children, John, I'll care for them. Leave the corn upon the stone, the fruit upon the tree, and all the little stores, dear John, yes, leave them all to me. Take your gun and go, dear John, yes, take your guns and go. Ruth can drive the ox, dear John, and I can use the army short of blankets, John. You take this heavy pair. I spun and wove them as a girl and worked them with great care. A rose in every corner, John, and here's my name, you see. On the cold, cold ground, they'll warmer feel, because they're made by me. So take your guns and go, dear John, yes, take your guns and go. For Ruth can drive the ox, dear John, and I can use the hoe. And I can use the hoe.
Gina Wood said Christmas times are coming, but we did that one. We'll do that one at the end. Okay. I got any more good ones? South winds bleeding yellow. Union has pierced the heart of Dixie. Still our men are fighting with courage to set us free. It's just Southern pride, you know? It's just Southern blindness. Oh, if you don't know that one, I'm not going to do that.
I thought it sounded great.
Now the mansion where the general used to live is burning down. Cotton fields are blue with Sherman's troops. I overheard a Yankee say yesterday Nashville fell. So I'm on my way to join the fight. General Lee might need my help. And look away, Dixie. I don't want you to see what they're doing to you, my Dixie. God bless Robert E. Lee. Sherman's troops burned Atlanta, and the flames lit up the sky. And those of us who survived it are watching my Dixie die. So today, at Appomattox, General Lee sat down and surrendered to the Yankees and Ulysses S. Grant. So look away, Dixie. I don't want you to see what they're doing to you, my Dixie. God bless Robert E. Lee. I will never stop loving you, my Dixie, till they put me in the ground. And the last words you probably hear from me are God bless Robert E. Lee.
Two horses were trotting. They played and had fun. They bathed in the warm light. I don't remember the words. Of the old southern sun. Two horses lay stood grazing where their dead riders lay. The Union married the Confederate graves. How's the second verse go?
Let me see what's the
No, see if you can find my words for Union married Confederate grave. No, I'll try it.
Maybe you could try the song that she wrote.
She read it? She read it?
Red ain't a word. If he didn't climb it, he didn't clumb it, he climbed
What's
it.
it called?
Yeah, Union married the Confederate grave.
Clumb that mountain.
See if I can get all the words because I like that one.
Clumb it.
You can see his Louisiana Gray requested it.
What difference does it make?
Oh,
You got to the top.
Let's see.
It's a whole lot.
Well, Union married Confederate grave. All right, yeah, hold it.
Can't remember.
Two horses were trotting. They pranced and they ran. Each one was commanded by a cavalryman. Two horses stood grazing where their dead riders lay. The Union married the Confederate grave. They nuzzled each other and they teased and had fun. They bathed in the warm rays of the old southern sun. No more senseless orders for them to obey. So they acted like lovers, this mare and this gray. Now these are some hard times, no kidding, that we're all living in. For killing your brother is the mightiest sin. How happy we'd be if we acted the way of the Union married the Confederate grave. Two horses were trotting. They pranced and they ran. Each one was commanded by a cavalryman. Two horses stood grazing where their red dead riders lay. Mess that up. The Union married the Confederate grave. Hey, word. The Ghost of Generally, yeah, I kind of know that one, but not enough to play it. We're getting more and more people coming and going.
We have a Colt revolver at home.
You're not supposed to be messing with those on live.
Oh, are
You
you
just
not?
don't show nobody.
Oh.
It's an instrument.
See,
It
you
is.
remember. This one you told me to learn a long time ago, and then you never sang it with me. Like a lion in the winter, I can hear
summer call.
Oh boy, I can't play.
I didn't know you actually learned it.
Like a
lion in the winter, I can hear southern call.
I'm just not gonna do it. like a ship out.
Okay, give me this here. Give me this
All
here.
right, so I'm gonna stop.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Like a lion in the winter, I can hear the southern call. Like a ship out on the ocean, made of stone. Is that not the right key? What?
That's how it goes.
Okay, but anyway, oh, you do it.
Like a lion in the winter, I can hear the summer call. Like a ship out on the ocean made of stone. Sometimes I get weary, I can swear I hear you call. Oh, the nights are cold when you don't keep me warm. And when I first saw you, I first loved you. When the song that I sang to the fire in your eyes. But somebody told you that it wouldn't be easy, so you carried that lie for the devil to see.
Hey! Some sail rivers deep and muddy, some sail rivers clear and cold. But the ship that I'm sailing goes to sea.
Sometimes when I go, I could swear I hear you call.
The nights are cold and you don't see me. Yeah, I can't remember it all. And when I first saw you, I first loved you.
From the song that I sang to the fire in your eyes. But somebody told you that it wouldn't be easy, said you carried that lie for the devil to see.
We have never tried that before in our lives. I haven't heard that for like a year. Yeah, you stumped me on Master's Call last year. Oh, that was good. That was.
I was proud of it.
That was good. That was good. That was a Hoyt Axton and a Linda Ronstadt.
And I can't even remember that.
Oh. Well, every road I see, that's Hoyt Axton too, leads away from me. There's not a single one that leads me home. The road keeps saying, friend, come see what's round the bend. So is it any wonder that I roam? All the places I have been keep calling me back again. Down in the pines I hear the cold winds blow. The road keeps telling me, but loose and fancy free. And the road goes by and calls me as it goes. Well, maybe somewhere there's someone waiting with a smile. And maybe there'll be some place I can stop and rest a while. And maybe you weren't meant to be just a rolling stone. And there's a road to travel on that leads you back to home. All the places I have been keep calling me back again. Down in the pines I hear the cold winds blow. The road keeps saying, friend, come see what's round the bend. So is it any wonder that I roam? Well, maybe somewhere there's someone's waiting with a smile. And maybe there'll be some place I can stop and rest a while. And maybe you weren't meant to be just a rolling stone. There's a road to travel on that leads you back to home. Yes, there's a road to travel on that leads me back to home.
trying to think of another one.
Yeah, we'll do a few more before we shut it down. Louisiana Gray said someone's supposed to suggest another songs to keep them going. Well, think of one. Preferably Christmas.
I say Applejack. That's not Christmas.
No. This is a guitar pull. Three Desert Boy said, thanks for the picking and the fine tune. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, Woods family. Do Joy to the World.
Yeah, I've done that one yet.
Yeah, we haven't done that one yet.
Thank
Thank you, Desert Boy. Joy. It's in C. Joy to the world. That's not it either. Joy to the world. The Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare his room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Give me one more.
What about C is for the Crush?
We'll do three more. So one song here we can't do without. It's a good old Woods family song. I don't think we've sang this in 4 or 5 years.
What?
We sing this every time we get together.
What am I?
By yonder prison wall, I heard a young man call. A young woman call. Yeah. Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole True Valiant's coin, so young you might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. This reminds me of home. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wings, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By lonely prison walls, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wings, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. What's your verse?
Harbor Walls.
Harbor Walls, she watched the last star falling as the prison ship sailed out against the sky. But she lived in hope and prayed for her love in Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing,
had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. All right, we have a couple songs to do here, and then we'll be done. Let's do your song, and then we'll end with Christmas Time.
Okay.
Here's your pick.
Gotta roll my sleeves up again.
We're gonna be quiet and let you handle this.
That's how I like to let things slide sometimes. Just let Olivia do it.
Yeah.
Let Olivia
I'm
sing.
just
I'll just sit here and
quotas.
listen.
Yeah.
Nice.
She actually sounds good.
Yeah.
Some
I
of
don't
us.
know about tonight. Let's see if I can ever get this right. No. Sorry. I was but a youngster. Christmas meant one thing, that I'd be getting lots of toys that day. But I learned a whole lot different when my mother sat me down and she taught me to spell Christmas this way. C is for the Christ child, born upon the sleigh, and H is for the herald angels in the night. R means our Redeemer, I means Israel, and S is for the star that shone so bright. T is for 3 wise men, they who travel far. M is for the manger where he lay. A means all he stands for. S means shepherds came, and that's why there's a Christmas day. Yes, that's why there's a Christmas day.
I'll actually do one more real quick. It is a Christmas song. Well, not really a Christmas song, but this is a song that was written by a Confederate soldier. And just thought, all the people who are for taking down the Confederate monuments and everything, you better stop singing this song.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Nope. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. That was written by a Confederate soldier. You know that?
I did not know that.
Yep.
Nope.
It's a Confederate soldier song.
That's interesting. Because it's
There's an old Christmas card in a dusty attic trunk, and it brings back sweet memories dear to me. Though it's faded and worn, it's as precious as the morn that I found it 'neath our first Christmas tree. I thrill to every word, every line. Seems I'm always sentimental around this time. Pardon me if a tear falls among my Christmas cheer. It's the memory of an old Christmas card. Oh, there's words there, huh? I didn't know why I'd get the feeling sentimental about this time every year. But every time I see a Christmas card, I can't help but reminiscing about that very first Christmas that you and I spent together. What a beautiful Christmas card you gave me that year. Why, I know you must have looked through thousands of cards to find the wonderful poem, and it still brings a tear to my eye every time I read those lines.
That was the first one I did, though.
I thrill to every word, every line. Seems I'm always sentimental around this time. Pardon me if a tear
falls among my Christmas cheer. It's the memory of an old Christmas card.
All right, let's finish this off, guys. I think we've been on long enough. 2 hours and 22 minutes. Of course, we've only been going for an hour and 20 minutes of music.
Holly's in the window, home is where the wind blows. I can't walk running when Christmas time's coming. Can you hear them bells ringing, ringing? Joy, joy, hear them singing. When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. Songs about the Savior lying in a manger. I'm so glad I know him when Christmas time's coming. Can you hear them bells ringing, ringing? Joy, joy, hear them singing. When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. White pines humming, my old heart's a yearning for the folks at home when Christmas time's coming. Can you hear them bells ringing, ringing? Joy, joy, hear them singing. When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home.
All right, Ethan, get up in this chair for the grand finale, the encore, the out.
Oh, okay.
Switch him out a little
I'll
bit.
switch. It's your. I'll do this.
All right. Never have tried this,
Oh, boy.
but this is a song about home and family.
Oh, yeah? Pickup trucks?
No.
No.
Bet it ain't raining back home. Bet your sister's still on the phone. Bet mama's in the kitchen cooking fried chicken, wishing that I hadn't done wrong. Go ahead, tell mama about what's going on, mama.
Oh, man, I can't remember.
Tell mama about your life. Now, don't you worry about a thing now, mama. They're treating us all right in here. They're feeding us 3 meals a day, feeding us real good too.
I can't remember that little part.
Mama sent us a turkey. The prison guard got it before we did. I said, hey man, that was my turkey. He said, are you sure that was your turkey? I said, no, it's probably yours. He said, well then what are you hanging around for? I said, just to see what's going around. There ain't no good in an evil-hearted woman, and I ain't cut out to be no Jesse James. And you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good chain gangs. Papa's reading yesterday's mail, wishing that the hay was all baled. I bet he's wishing we could go fishing. Here I am laying in jail.
I said, don't worry about a thing, Papa. And I don't remember the rest of it.
They're teaching us a lesson a day, and we're learning it real good, too. They already taught us a lot of stuff. Taught us stuff like, there ain't no good in an evil-hearted woman, and I ain't cut out to be no Jesse James. And you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good chain gangs. There ain't no good in an evil-hearted woman, and I ain't cut out to be no Jesse James. And you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good chain gangs. All right, okay, we're done, fun, guys. Anyway, thank you all for coming out. I hope you enjoyed sitting through that butchery of music. It was fun. So anyway, as always, what do we say, Ethan?
Thank you for watching.
Trust in God. Wait.
Get that or
I knew they could do that.
See you, bye.